My new obsession is Belo Betty. I made a video for EBO2 format and I really liked Betty and she only got better. As you can see in a lot of different tournaments, especially in the past week or two, Belo is topping and absolutely dominating, really right up there with EBO2's Luffy and new up Luffy. So without further ado, let me go ahead into the deck list that I used to win my last two back-to-back locals. First off, obviously, we're going to play 4 of the one-cost Belo Searchers. Great for finding my pieces that I need early on, but even better to use as an attacker when we use Belo's leader ability. I like playing 3 copies of the Rev Army stage. Now, some of you can play 4, you can play 2. I've seen builds that don't play any, but I do really think this helps fix your hand if you are absolutely drawing into a horrible mulligan and don't really see a way out. This is a huge consistency piece in Belo Betty. Worst case scenario, you don't use it and you pitch it for your leader ability. I was at 4 copies, but I switched down to 3 of the 2-cost Kuma. It has a great trigger, you can play it for free, and also that on play in combination with, let's say, the 2-cost Koala with a minus 3000 on play, you can go ahead and pop some 5-cost and stop any early aggression or removal potential from your opponent. This is not a card I play every single game, but holding a copy in your hand for a deck that you know plays a lot of chump blockers, especially towards the end of the game, really helps going for life. This Koala also acts as a backup for me. If I'm not finding my 1-cost Belo Betty Searchers early on that I will use for attackers, I am more than happy to go ahead and play down a Koala, even if I don't use the on-play ability, sacrificing a 2k but getting a body that will swing for 6k with leader ability. My only non-revolutionary army card in this deck is 4 copies of the Zeus from OP11. This card is amazing if they are trying to starve you. You can go ahead and remove one of their bodies, but at the same time, getting some cards back from life can really help you out and keep your momentum going if that is the strategy that they're using. Worst case scenario, you can pitch Zeus with your Revolutionary Army stage, but it acts as a backup 2k. It's really good going for life to pop a blocker, or also even a Sanji Pudding if they don't have the +1 cost in effect. I play 4 copies of the Inazuma Rush 3-cost. I don't really know if I love 4 copies. I might switch down to 3, but again, Rush is the only card that I play in this current Belo Betty deck list that has Rush. It works really well for going for game. You can catch people off guard at the same time. Just putting 2 of these down, leader ability, and giving them both up to 7,000, so activating the rush on each one, really makes your board go from 0 to you're swinging with 2 7Ks, which is kind of crazy. So running 4 is kind of beneficial for that reason. Next, I play 4 copies of the 3-cost Karasu. Has a great trigger if you have 5 or less total combined life, but at the same time, you just need a good old blocker to hold down the fort, even though I do use it as an emergency attacker if I'm in a pinch, if I need another swing or a little bit more aggression. Next up, I do play 2 copies of the Belo Betty 3-cost. I have been taking this in and out of my deck. Sometimes I never use it, sometimes it comes in clutch, but really all that does is give me an extra card if I am low towards the end of the game and I'm really struggling, as Belo does, with that, only having 1 or 2 cards in hand, if any at all. And at the same time, it has a good trigger, so if you pull this off trigger towards the end of the game, you're at 2 life or less, you get to play that and get an extra card, which can definitely help your situation a little bit. But let's go ahead and talk about the absolute king of this deck is the 4-cost Karasu. This card would be banned in any other deck if it was not leader locked. to our Rev Army Belo Betty leader. On play, -1000, and when attacking, -1000 for the turn, not the battle. So being able to play out one or two of these is really the win condition in this game. The more Karasus you have, the better. That's why you want to play 4 copies of the Ivankov. In an ideal situation, I would be able to go second, play 2 Belo Bettys, play out an Ivankov on my next turn, leader ability to play out a Karasu off of the Ivankov ability, minus the leader to 4000, and then I'm swinging 5 into 4, 5 into 4, and 5 into 4, which is extremely annoying on your second turn for your opponent. This card is great, but really you only want to have one on the field at a time. So if I have one down, usually it's the next one I'm going to pitch. At the same time, I don't really use it late game unless I have to, because usually late game I'm hurting a little bit more for a hand size. I play 4 copies of the Lindbergh. Great trigger early on if you get it, being able to put a 5k body on the board, and when attacking, popping a 3000 or less character in collaboration with the Koala, but in a pinch with the Karasu as well. Works really well for getting rid of chump blockers. If you're playing the Bonnie matchup, getting rid of a Rosinante or some smaller blocker when you're going to try to remove the 8-cost kid. I really do like Lindbergh, but it definitely is a matchup situational card. I don't always use this card in every matchup. I play 4 copies of the 2k Kuma. Really like this card as a 2k counter, but at the same time, again, a good trigger that if you're in an ideal situation, you can actually trigger this out and put another 5k body on the board. Always helps. I also play 3 copies. I used to play 4, but I think 3 is the right ratio of the 5-cost Ivankov being able to play something out. So if I'm forced to go first, if I can get to my 5 Dawn turn with an Ivankov, play out an Ivankov, and be able to find a second Ivankov and go ahead and put 3 bodies on the board for the cost of 5 Dawn is very powerful early on, but also late game if you need some more bodies to swing next turn for life, or even just a blocker or 2. Lastly, I play 3 copies of the 6-cost Koala. This card is incredibly powerful. I really mean it. This card is absolutely insane when you think about it. It's your anti-starve card. You can board spam so easily with this. Playing out a Koala, Ivankov into Karasu or something else is absolutely atrocious for your opponent. It is extremely oppressive, but really, when I'm playing this deck list, I like to go second. I think it works out a lot better. And when I'm looking for my hand, whether to mulligan or not, I'm really looking for a Belo Betty Searcher and maybe a Karasu or Ivankov, but I can definitely fix my hand with that Betty Searcher and a Rev Army stage. But without further ado, that is my OP11 Belo Betty deck list. I will probably be playing Betty well through 11 into 12. This is my competitive deck. I absolutely love it. It really does feel like you're gambling sometime, but that is the nature of the deck. I do really like the matchups. She does have some really bad matchups, but at the end of the day, it is just a lot of fun. If you have any questions about the deck or any adjustments that you would recommend for the OP11 format, please let me know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time.